Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
There is no way that I want Kyrie Irving on the Philadelphia 76ers. And here is why. Number one, why would it make sense for the Sixers to go ahead and get another headache in this locker room after they just spent the last year and a half dealing with one of the biggest headaches in the NBA? Kyrie Irving is, an incredible basketball player. I will never take for granted his skills and just the show that he puts on every time he steps on the court. Kyrie Irving, the basketball player, is incredible. He's unbelievable. But I think we have seen time and time again, nobody wants to deal with that personality, okay? Kyrie is the most unpredictable, just unimaginable, just untrustable individual in the NBA. And I just don't want anything to deal with that. Kyrie Irving could play a game on a Tuesday night, and by Wednesday morning, he is headed out west. He's in another state. Shoot, he's even in another country. He doesn't care. There's just too much extra baggage that goes along with Kyrie Irving. 100% keep him away from the Philadelphia 76ers. I do not want that turmoil. I do not want that bad energy. All right. And it's crazy because Sixers Twitter earlier today, after I put my thoughts out, they were trying to get me to buy into Kyrie Irving. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, maybe there's people out there, once again, calling to the show. Give me some thoughts. Maybe you guys like Kyrie Irving. I don't want him anywhere near this team. I like what we're building here. I like what we've done. And there is absolutely no way I am paying $37 million for Kyrie Irving to come in here and act like a chemical explosion and blow it up again. No way. Also, him and James Harden, it doesn't make sense. Those two butted heads in Brooklyn, and they obviously are not the best of friends. So why would they pair up with each other? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think actually happened. Now, this was earlier this week when the whole Kyrie Irving rumor started before the Kevin Durant trade request. And this is what Stephen A. Smith said on ESPN. He said, the Sixers were on the phone willing to give him a 3-year deal, but there was no way in hell he was interested in going to Philly and rejoining James Harden or anything like that. And it was a smokescreen. Shams Charania says that Kyrie Irving has several suitors, the Sixers, Lakers, and Mavs, all said to be interested. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think happened here. Obviously, Shams Charania, being a Clutch agent, okay, having close ties with Rich Paul, we all know this as Sixers fans by now, okay? I think that LeBron James, for some reason, which I don't think he should, but I think he's pulling for Kyrie Irving to get to Los Angeles. LeBron James is also correlated tightly with Clutch Sports. And I think Shams is trying to make a leverage play here for Kyrie Irving to get to the Lakers. And I think he's including some of these other teams to try to up those negotiations and ramp it up, because apparently the Lakers are having some interesting contractual discussions with the Brooklyn Nets regarding this. Now, if you were on the show a couple days ago, I actually predicted with Greg that Kyrie Irving would get traded to the Lakers in exchange for Russell Westbrook. I predicted that. And, the talks coming out from Chris Haynes are that the Lakers and Nets are engaged in trade discussions for Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving. Now, Russell Westbrook would have to get bought out on the tail end of this deal, because you putting Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons on the same team, you're asking for a catastrophe. I'm telling you right now. And, having him pair up with James Harden, it just doesn't make sense. Also, the Sixers have a young stud of a point guard in Tyrese Maxey. Why would you want to stint the growth of a kid that looks like he could be a superstar in a couple years? It makes absolutely zero sense. Now, I'm just showing you what's being reported. But I'm telling you, I do not want Kyrie Irving, for the reasons I stated, anywhere near this Philadelphia 76ers team.
If you're Philadelphia, you can't even look twice at that. You've got to literally look away, because Kyrie Irving can't even prove that he can show up to work and play basketball. When he's on the floor and he shows up, his talent's amazing, but he never shows up.
I agree with you. I agree 100%.
Like I like if you could offer him 1 year $50 million and this man will show up and you can guarantee him to show up and you can put in his contract, he shows up, you pay him, fine. But if you're not gonna, there's no way you're gonna do that. Like you could pay him $50 million every year and that's fine. He's worth that money. He just doesn't show up.
I agree. From a talent perspective, he's worth a max deal on a 1 year contract. But like you said, we couldn't get Ben Simmons to show up. We couldn't get Ben Simmons to show up, and I don't want to go through that again. No. And to be honest, why you can't? Okay, Kyrie's talent's great. Him and Joel Embiid would be great together. But you can't waste. You've wasted so many years of Joel Embiid already. You can't waste any more. You can't, and you're exactly right. We're in a championship window next couple years, and adding Kyrie to the mix is like putting the chemical explosion into play. It's just too uncertain.
Perfect.